Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I've got a review for you. I don't know if I am comfortable calling it a full review because I haven't really carried this knife and used it as much as I should have to call it a full review, but I'm out of time with this knife. Life has been so crazy that I just haven't gotten to it as much as I would like to have, but I'm going to call it an opportunity because I want to buy one of these when I get the chance to do so and have one for myself. And when I have my own, I will carry it and use it much more freely. But this knife was loaned to me. It's rare these days that I take a loaner. I've just been too busy to deal with it. But this is a buddy that I met up with in person, and he handed the knife to me and let me check it out and then said, "Do you want to borrow it?" And I couldn't say no. So my friend, Knife Ninja EDC on Instagram, I will link him down below so you can check him out. EJ, he's an awesome dude. And I've been able to hang out with him a couple of times. We hung out at California Custom Knife Show back in, what was that, like October, something like that. And then we've met up, is it only one time since then? I don't know, we've talked a whole bunch, and we've met up at least one time since then. I feel like it was two though. Anyway, I met up with him a couple of weeks ago. I happened to be down in his neck of the woods doing a filming project, and so we decided to grab a bite to eat after I had finished filming, and hung out with him and Jacob Ginsberg, which was a lot of fun. And he loaned me this to review. This is the Qvist Bladeworks variant. I believe I'm getting that right. I'm going to feel real bad calling it the wrong thing. The slip, which I'm going to show you kind of one more time, that it comes with, or that you can at least buy through Qvist for it. These are made in Minnesota. It's a clip slip. I found I actually like it more than I thought I would. The only time I had tried a clip slip before, I think was on a fixed blade, and I didn't particularly love it. I also, like, for slip joints, haven't felt compelled to really use one because I just prefer a leather slip I can toss in my pocket for slip joints. Anyway, this has worked better than I thought it would. So as somebody who's not typically into clip slips, this one's done really well. And this one in particular is in this bright orange color, but I've seen that they come in a lot of colors. So this is the Qvist variant, and this is one of the custom versions of the knife. I should clarify. There is a production version of this knife. I forget who the OEM was, but those were much less expensive and had a pocket clip on them and were in materials less exciting than these, and were production. These are handmade customs. So this custom version is cooler, and this is the one that, now that I've experienced, I will be looking for because I really want one. This one in particular is done in carbon fiber. I've seen them in a variety of handle materials. It does have a lanyard tied onto it. If I were to get one of these for myself, I wouldn't keep a lanyard on it. It's not mine though, so I didn't take it off. And I have not minded this lanyard that much. The biggest way I've minded it has been when this knife is in pocket and then this lanyard is like sticking out of my pocket or down here, and then if I'm trying to get to my wallet, it kind of feels in the way. I just don't like lanyards on knives. If you do, this one is a great lanyard host, I guess. But yeah, so let's just kind of go through my impressions on this knife, and I'll explain why I really want to get one. Why don't I even start there, actually? I really want to get one because A, it's super slim, and I love slim knives. But I don't love slim knives when they don't feel good in hand, and this is a slim knife that feels really, really good in hand, and it just fits my hand incredibly well. I also like sway back style handles, and this is a really cool, like, modern slayback, or swayback, I should say. What's called the slayback? Is that the Monterey Bay knives? Slayback? Yeah, this is a swayback. I like this handle shape a lot. I love how lightweight the knife is. I imagine if I carried this without the slip, if I had one like this for myself, and there's no lanyard on it, and it's just this knife is gonna be so comfortably light to just toss into a pocket, and I love that about it. I also think the construction is really cool. We've got a really simple, just two scales, in this case carbon fiber, and then one internally mounted, you can see the hardware for it there, lock bar, that is just a tiny little lock bar that is set in just to achieve lockup, and that's it. And I love that. The action is fantastic on these bearings. It just sings. It drops shut. I mean, it is a really exceptionally well-made, unique knife. And I like unique, I like slim, I like light, And I like fun action. I love that it's a hole for deployment and it middle finger flicks like it's freaking job. There's even multiple grips. I can put my pointer finger back here and it's still comfortable. There's just so much about this knife that is really, really pulling me in. And so I really want to get one for myself. I feel like I need one at this point. So let's look at the materials real quick and then I'll talk some kind of impressions. Blade steel on this guy is S45VN. It's marked on that side. There you go. S45 is a good steel. It's not like my favorite steel in the world, but it's cool. Carbon fiber, obviously, for the handle scales. I'm not sure what the lock bar is. I'm assuming it's steel. It looks like steel to me. And then there's a ceramic detent. Actually looks like there's 2 ceramic detent balls, which explains why this action is so bananas good. And then hardware, we've just got some pretty simple barrel spacers, one of which is wrapped in a lanyard, so you're not going to see it there. But barrel spacer, stop pin, pivot, bearings, tiny little lock bar, carbon fiber, S45. It's a cool blend and use of materials, and it just feels so unique to me, the way that it's all done. Anyway, that's what it's made out of. Ergos, I think I've already touched on, are freaking money for me. They're just really good. I love the way this knife feels in hand. This blade shape, ultra usable. I love blade shapes like this. I really, really dig this kind of warny profile, maybe sheep's foot. I don't know which you would call that, but it's great. The blade finish as well is this really cool acid stonewash, and you can see the machined bevels. You kind of see the lines in it. It looks really cool to me, and it still feels pretty smooth to the hand, or to the touch, I should say. So even though you can see these machined kind of lateral lines going through the blade, it hasn't bound it in any way when I have done little bits of slicing with it. I have not used this knife extensively because, like I said, I haven't even had the time to carry it a ton, and thus haven't had the time to use it a ton. And I've been moving, so I've only wanted to put knives in my pocket that I was comfortable pulling out and using for anything that comes up. I didn't want to be like, oh crap, that's a knife in my pocket, I gotta go grab something else. This one's not mine, so I wasn't willing to thrash it in the process of a move. But I have put it through some tape on top of a box, a little bit of cardboard to feel how it did through that, some paper to feel how the edge did. The edge that's on here is ridiculous. It is a gorgeous mirrored edge, and it is sticky sharp. Just really, really excellent edge. The blade profile is nice and thin behind the edge, and it's like a tall, flat grind, and this thing is a slicer for sure. Pretty thin blade stock as well. Not like super thin, but thin in a good way. So yeah, I mean, this thing is just really, really cool, really different, really unique, and I love it. I will officially be on the hunt now for one of my own. I just really want to have one. Really cool hardware. It's also well made. The finishing is great. It's just really, really cool. And the maker seems like a really nice guy. I did message him saying I was going to be reviewing it, and he was super kind. Was like, hey, if you've got any questions, like anything comes up, let me know. And I ended up just kind of feeling it out and just experiencing the knife. I don't feel like I had a ton of questions for him, but maybe when I do get my hands on my own and I go deeper into it, then I'll talk to him even more about it. But it was nice to chat with him and find out he was a really cool, seemingly nice dude. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll kind of leave that there. I'm going to tag down below my buddy, Knife Ninja EDC, who I borrowed this from because he's great. If you're not following him, you should be. He's a really cool dude. And yeah, I appreciate him for letting me check this out. It is a unique knife, and there's not an unlimited amount of these out there. They're relatively few and far between. So I really appreciate that. Anyways, thank you guys for checking it out. This is the Qvist variant custom version, and we'll see you on the next one.